Your logo alone does not tell potential clients who you are. A three-dimensional brand does. Today, I'm going to dig into the elements of premium branding that you can layer on to attract your perfect fit clients. If you're relying on a logo alone, you're missing the real secret to attracting premium clients. Let's fix that. I see this a lot when service providers go out and start a brand. They immediately go straight to their logo and they think, I just need to create this logo. I've checked branding off the list and I can move forward with maybe a couple of my favorite colors. That barely scratches the surface of what is possible with a full three-dimensional brand. By the end of this episode, you're going to learn how to use visual branding to cue to high-end buyers that you are the perfect fit for them and to attract people that pay for the entire experience, not just the service. There's something called semiotic branding where we're using colors, words, symbolism to connect to a business. It's used to create emotions and connection. Brands like McDonald's have symbolism that immediately makes people think of them, or Coca-Cola. When we see that glass bottle, that Coke is what comes to mind. These cues become almost subconscious and they trigger that immediate thought process toward the business and toward the product. It helps us distinguish ourselves as a brand. Your visual branding is part of what creates an experience for your potential client. They start recognizing you as someone that they resonate with, that they identify with, and it evokes an emotion in them. We're emotional buyers, and so you want your branding to have an emotional component. Your branding is an experience. It's an identity. It's a personality. And to create that full picture, you need more than a logo. I had a client who's a realtor specifically for rural clients. So she's selling rural land. She's selling a lifestyle. She's selling an identity. And we created a brand that helped her do that well. Since she launched her new brand and website, she's been able to see a 10x return. And that's because her logo was more just than an arbitrary symbol. Everything about it emphasized the lifestyle that her ideal clients wanted, the experience that they want in their life, the goals that they have. My name is Alli, and I am a brand and website designer for women service providers. I help you translate your expertise into a brand experience that attracts your perfect fit clients. One group that's really good at creating a visual experience that matches with their brand, that creates emotion, that really creates a fuller picture than just a logo are celebrities. Think about Taylor Swift, like the color red with her sort of playful vibe, with the way that she connects with her audience and the way that she creates this community. She's built an entire tribe of people that are so loyal, that are such super fans. And a lot of it has to do with the visual aesthetic that she created. Compare that to someone like Lana Del Rey. Very different personality, very different vibe. It's much more moody, much more evocative, sort of edgy. Again, creating a similar experience that attracts people that are looking for that in her music, in her style. Another brand that does this well is Lelebo, and they're a fragrance brand. If you go into one of their stores, every aspect is curated to create an experience. From the scent of the wrapping paper to the bottles, it's a sensory experience. You're not just buying a perfume, you're part of a craft. I think a key here that people often miss is that visual branding is not just about decoration. It's about communication. It tells clients who you are, what to expect, what experience that they are going to get from you. You can do this with sensory and experiential cues, things like textures and colors, imagery, typography. This all works together to influence a perception of you. And it helps with your ideal client's willingness to pay premium prices. A couple of clever examples of this is Away Travel. So it's a luggage brand, and typically we think of luggage as something we need, pretty uniform. They all kind of look the same, but Away has really done a good job of making them something distinct. They're selling the whole experience and lifestyle of travel, not just the product. So they have really clean photography. They have high-touch packaging. They use muted colors that give this really calming and aspirational vibe. And then there's Ritual Vitamin. Many of us think of vitamins as pretty much all the same, or we see the packaging in the stores and they look kind of like everyone else. But Ritual Vitamins has dug a little bit deeper in their branding. Instead of just some creative packaging, they've really created this dimensional space where between their color palette and their clean design, the textures that they use, their vitamins feel intentional and premium and even soothing. So here's how you can take your branding from a static logo to a three-dimensional experience. Number one, audit your current visual. Are they consistent across all touch points? Do they all work together? Are they more about your favorites and things that you like in your style, or is it really catered to your ideal client? Does every element reflect the brand personality that you want to have and the message that you want to set? If not, it might be time for a rebrand and to take a look at that. Maybe you started DIY, which is great. It got you started. Now that you've been in the game for a few years, you need something that really does the work for you in communicating your excellence. Number 2, think beyond your logo. With your colors, you want to dig into color psychology. There's a lot of subconscious messaging that happens with colors. We associate them with different things. So you want to make sure that you choose the color palette that evokes certain feelings or certain thoughts and perceptions in your ideal client before you even have time to say anything. So when it comes to typography, you want to make sure you're using something that also has a similar vibe in that message that you want to send. If you're looking for something more modern and crisp, you can look at a sans serif. Those font choices all back up what you're trying to say. And you want to look for something that's versatile, that you can use across all kinds of different things. With your imagery, you want to think about the same thing, using photos that have a certain style, that are edited in a certain way, that send the same message that you want to send. Don't just grab a bunch of stock photography that's generic or corporate. Really look for a style, look for a feel, and try to use it to craft your brand personality. You can use things like icons and graphics to add little elements that are unique and fun. And you can even incorporate your personal style. So how you dress, your makeup, your hairstyle, all of that is part of your brand as well if you're a personal brand. If you're showing up and showing your face, you want to support your overall brand messaging with your look. Number 4, small sensory cues can make a high impact. So a lot of times we kind of forget about this stuff, but if we can make our brand delve into some of the other senses, then that just adds to the power of what we're trying to say. Adding other senses that make it feel more like a full experience in real life rather than just something flat. So you can do this with your packaging, with your email templates, on your website. Those little touches can signal professionalism and can add in like something unique that sticks with your ideal client. And number 5 is to be religiously consistent with your brand in every place that you show up online without fail. Here's the thing, we're all going to get bored of our brands. Over time, you're going to get tired of your colors. You're going to feel like it's, everybody's seen this, everybody's done this, they know what it's about, but don't let that tempt you to move away from it. If you've created a strategic brand and you've taken the time to make thoughtful decisions around it, the key then is to keep showing up and using it. The dividends of branding happen over time. It's like the stock market. You invest now and then you keep being consistent and you keep showing up. And the longer you do that, then the more that people are going to start recognizing it, the more they're going to start trusting it. There's something about consistency that builds that trust. If you're constantly swinging around from different fonts, different colors, making up changes, you're going to erode that trust. So that consistency is so crucial. Don't forget to keep using your brand. I have had clients who have paid me for branding, I've delivered the files to, who've used it to a time and then gotten bored. And then they never really see the full results of their brand. On the flip side, I've had ones that just keep showing up with it, keep being consistent, not letting their emotions and their feelings dictate what they're going to do with their brand. And the results are amazing. That's when they start to really see the snowball effect of that branding take place. So just to recap, your logo is not your brand. It's much bigger than that. You want to create a fuller experience that really draws people in, that makes them feel a part, that makes them feel an emotion. The smallest details can be really powerful in shaping your identity as a business. Don't overlook the small things, the things like the color choices, the sensory additions to your brand, the little touch points that make people feel something. Having clients pay for experiences, not just services. So you're wanting to craft a brand that really sets the foundation to be able to do that well. Every visual element you choose communicates something. So whether that's your fonts, your colors, your patterns and textures, your logo, everything that you use is going to send your message forward or hold it back. And lastly, cohesive visual branding is going to work over time to attract more of the person that you want to attract if it's targeted to them. So the more committed you are to making thoughtful choices, to sticking with your brand, the more you're going to get the ideal perfect fit clients and less of the tire kickers and people who don't feel aligned. If you're interested in attracting more premium buyers with your brand, then check out my recent video all about that and make sure you like and subscribe to this video. See you next time.